Today, I am super excited because we're going to be checking out my new guitar build with my aluminum Aluminati Nebula neck. So I had been wanting to put together a guitar that was kind of unique and just for me for a while. So I got a Warmoth body made, the Diamondback one that's kind of an SG style, which for me is a nod to Tony Iommi. I figured why not? Because I wanted this guitar to be more doom oriented. I wanted to do a lot of things, but I wanted it to be more doom oriented because I wanted this to be the guitar that I demo a lot of fuzz pedals and doom stuff from now on. And I wanted it to be for my doom project, Phantom Wizard, both for recording my music for it and for eventually when I get some live shows going for this. I put a P-rail pickup in the bridge. If you're not familiar with P-rails, they're awesome. It is essentially a humbucker mount P90 and a rail single coil together, and then you can use those as a humbucker. You get a great humbucker sound. I can use that for anything from rock all the way up to death metal. And then it's got that P90 in there. It sounds great. It sounds really good for doom stuff and hitting fuzz pedals. It also sounds great for kind of some old school rock stuff. And then you have the rail single coil if you need it. And then in the neck, I put a Fat Cat humbucker mount P90, which I'd never used before, but I heard good things about. And it sounds great. It does everything I would want out of a P90 in the neck position. It's really warm and fat, but also very clear, has a lot of top end. It's great for cleans, great for leads, all around super happy with it. But on to the coolest part of this build that I'm sure everyone is watching this video for and curious about, that Nebula neck, the aluminum neck from Aluminati. Now, I have been looking at one of these necks for a while, specifically for this build, and so I hit them up saying, hey, I'm doing this build. I'm going to be using this for doom metal stuff as well as some other things on the channel, and I want to use it for my doom metal project, Phantom Wizard. And they liked the idea. They liked the idea of me using it on the channel and for my project, so they actually just outright sent me one, which was awesome, and I am super grateful for it because this neck is fantastic. This is easily one of the best necks I have ever played in my entire life. It feels amazing. It's a very, very comfortable kind of medium profile C shape, and it's just wonderful. I don't know if anyone's aware, but wood isn't perfect. No matter how good of the cut you have, no matter how well you machine it, wood necks especially, they're never going to be perfectly even, right? Because the grain and everything in the wood, no matter how well you set it up, once the strings are on there, once tension's on there, it's going to relieve slightly unevenly. Even if it's only a little bit, it'll be slightly straighter and more relieved on one side as opposed to the other. One side will be straighter, one side will be more relieved. And that's just something you got to deal with. That isn't an issue with this neck. This neck is dead even on both sides because it's aluminum. And because it's aluminum, it also doesn't go out. It doesn't have those responses that wood has to, say, humidity or temperature changes where it'll get relieved or straighten out too much and you have to mess with it, and you take it on a gig and it's really hot one place and then really cold another and your guitar is needing a lot of attention. This thing is just set up, ready to go. There's also no truss rod in it because it's aluminum. You wouldn't need to adjust it. So literally out of the box, this thing is set to where it should be, and it's extremely low action without buzz, and it just feels fantastic and consistent up and down the entire neck. Now the neck also has wonderfully rounded stainless steel frets on there. Every single one of them feels great, and it just feels really glassy. Vibrato just really, really glides well on this thing and leaps off of this fretboard. This also has Spurzl locking tuners, which really add to the tuning stability of this, which it already had in spades because it's aluminum, it's not moving, so that's not a factor as much on the strings, but that locking tuning system adds just that much more to the neck, and this thing has been rock solid since I put it on the guitar and got it set up. It's a 25.5-inch scale length. These fit Fender-style neck pockets, which is part of the reason I went with a Warmoth body, but also I just wanted to do a Warmoth for a while. All in all, I am extremely happy with this thing. It feels very good. It's actually not as heavy as it looks. It's not a solid bar of aluminum. It actually is hollowed in the center. That way it remains light but stable. So there's no neck dive or a ton of extra weight on this at all. It just feels like a normal wood neck, but it's aluminum. In the future, I do want to actually compare this to a wood neck. I want to get a wood neck made to the same kind of specs, roughly the same shape and same scale length and everything. And I want to compare these two to see if there's a huge sound difference between the two. I know that's going to be a contentious issue because every time I see aluminum or any kind of metal stuff brought up with guitar building, I always see 1,000 comments of people going like, "Oh, it must sound so tinny. It must sound so harsh. There must be a ton of treble to that. It must sound like really metallic-y." And it doesn't. It just doesn't. It sustains really well, but it just sounds like a guitar neck. It just sounds like a guitar. I haven't really noticed any difference other than it sustains for days, which is great. So I figured we're just gonna jam on this thing a bit. I'm gonna play some riffs in a mix from my Phantom Wizard project, and then we're gonna just hear this outside of a mix, and I'm gonna show you how versatile this guitar is. I'm gonna play some cleans. We're gonna do some kind of boosted 5150 death metal stuff, and then I'm gonna switch to the P90 on the bridge pickup, and we're gonna play some doom stuff through my Laney AOR, just so you can get an idea of all the different sounds this thing's capable of and what it's gonna sound like on the channel. Let's check it out. So to say I love this guitar, to say I love this neck is absolutely an understatement. I am over the moon for this. It turned out much better sounding and feeling and playing than I could have ever asked for. I love jamming on this guitar. Ever since I put it together, I have been playing on it and just picking it up and noodling on it and writing riffs, and I just love it. And that's the sign of a good guitar, when you just keep wanting to play it and write stuff on it. This neck turned out better than I could have ever asked for. I am absolutely impressed with everything they've done. The neck is beautiful. It feels perfect. More than perfect. It feels like one of the best guitar necks I've ever had the pleasure of playing on, much less owning. I'm going to have links to everything I was talking about down below. I suggest you go check out Aluminati if you're interested in this. I'm going to have this guitar and this neck on the channel a lot. This is going to be anything Doom related. This is going to be on. I'm also going to use this just for regular demos, plenty. This is going to be used for my band, like I was saying, my Phantom Wizard side project. So you're going to see a lot of this on the channel, and I am stoked to have it on here because it just plays so good. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay metal.